This is Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
You're watching Football Friday on Dakota News Now. Go Trojans!
Those are the Faulkton cheerleaders. They've got
staff.
4. One was in the band, and one was at a pageant. Those 2 did great.
Yeah.
Wonderful job. Now, welcome to what we thought was going to be our first soggy Football Friday. We did have some lightning delays, but overall, things went really well tonight. I'm Mark Ovenden.
I'm Zach Borg, by the way. Thanks to Phil Schreck for delaying all those storms, because we know it's always the weather guys who do that. We got highlights from games in South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota coming up.
And we start at Howard Wood Field, where we had number 1 against number 2 in 11 AAA, the Lincoln Patriots and O'Gorman Knights. I expected there would be a lot of points in this game, and we were not disappointed. Drayvon Hodge for the handoff takes it in from 3 yards out. It's a tie ball game at 7 at this point. Love those blue
blues.
uniforms. Yep,
yeah.
They look great. O'Gorman down 14-7 until they throw the ball. Hayden Gross to Maverick Jones, 30 yards for the touchdown. It's 14-14. Then right before halftime, O'Gorman down 23-14. Gross to Dawson Bauer, and they are down 23-21 at halftime. But in the second half, the band had a lot to cheer about. Hodge again, he is gone. They've scored 35 points in the first 15 minutes of the second half. It's not even close to being over. 9 minutes to go, and it's 58-35. That is a wild game.
I don't think anybody can stop their offense. The 4th-ranked Harrisburg Tigers might try eventually. They were back home against Roosevelt. Looking to bounce back from that loss last week to Lincoln. Harrisburg up 7-0 when they tag on more Sam Knuth to Titan Tryon. Always good for 7, it seems, and the Tigers take a 14-0 lead. Now, Roosevelt would cobble something together on their next possession. Jackson Brower finds Tayden Nave as he bounces off some defenders and streaks ahead for the big gain. This would set up Roosevelt's first touchdown. They trail 14-7. Yet on the kickoff, all that momentum they worked so hard to gain goes out the window when Braden Fieldy tap dances around defenders, finds his lane, and takes it to the promised land for the touchdown. Harrisburg finds their rhythm, and they roll to a 48-13 victory.
Now, in the first game at Howard Wood, the Jefferson Cavaliers, looking to improve to 4-1 with a win over the Mitchell Colonels. They scored in a variety of ways. They scored on a pass, Ethan Swenson to Davian Simonson. It's the first touchdown of the day, 7-0. The next 5 touchdowns came on special teams or defense. This guy, Dawson Sexer, had 2 consecutive punt returns for touchdowns. Cut it back, Dawson. Attaboy. He's in the end zone. You can't tackle him.
Bit of a late hit there.
It's 21-0 after those 2, and then watch this. Sexer again.
Wow.
It is 49-0 at one point, 56-0 at halftime. All Cavaliers, 63-0. All right, on to your scoreboard. Lincoln leading in the 4th. Jefferson wins, and there's your Harrisburg score again. Brandon Valley and Rapid City Stevens play tomorrow. We had another big game in 11 AA involving Yankton. The number 2 Bucks took on number 3 T Area tonight, and our Cooper Seamer was there. Coop?
Yeah, Mark and Zach, last week Yankton hosted Pierre. They're losing a close one there, and tonight the Bucks made the trip to play the Titans. That's 2 challenging games for them back-to-back, though. Yankton's high-tempo offense, though, clicking early here, though. Evan Shirk is going to get the call early on. He gets the handoff. He's going to rumble about 10 yards in for the first score. It's going to be 7-0 Yankton early on. They do the same thing in the second quarter. A nice drive. This time it's Lucas Kampshoff. He gets the number here, gets the honors of plowing into the end zone. Yankton leads 14-0. They've held T to only 3 yards of offense so far through this whole game. In that case, well, you got to find another way to score. That's where Ethan Viss comes in. Finds a lane here, 88 yards down the sideline, takes the kickoff return all the way back for 6. And T has some life here in the second quarter. But Yankton was too methodical in offense. Cirk's going to get the call again, and he's going to rumble his way in. Yankton bounces back this week. They win 37-26 over T. Zach?
Thank you, Cooper. We had another big game and ranked game, 11 AA, where Pierre and the unbeaten Govs hosted the 4th-ranked Arrows of Watertown after recovering an onside kick. Cade Kaiser hits Jet Zabel for the touchdown. It's 7-0 Govs and a pretty soaked Pierre. Early second quarter, same combination. Same result from slightly longer out, a little more difficulty with that toe-tapping catch. It's 14-0, and this time it's Kaiser on the ground. He had 3 scores. They were up at this point, and they go on to win pretty big. Final score in this one was 49-20. Let's take a look at some more 11 AA scores. Again, your Yankton score, Spearfish, the only other ranked team in action. They win big at Belfouche.
And thanks again to Midco for those highlights here. I forgot to put that on the super. Thanks, Tom Neiman. You brave the elements. Next up, some smash mouth football in Canton where the Seahawks hosted West Central.
Big fella.
This was a dandy.
71.
We've got highlights next.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
Welcome back to Football Friday. We're just getting warmed up. We got more 11-man highlights.
We do, and it's always a rock'em sock'em game when West Central and Canton play. A lot of blue out there, a lot of black and blue after the game, especially when it's played at Copland Field for Bert L. Copland. And that's where Cordell Wright was tonight. Cordell?
And it was a big game. Number 2 West Central taking on the 3rd-ranked Seahawks in a big mid-season matchup. It was also homecoming, and Canton had the ball boys fired up, and you can see why with plays like this. Looks like it's just going to be a short run.
God.
It's going to be stuffed. But out of that pile comes the big man, Tron Cook. He goes all the way down to the 20, and the energy actually gave Canton a 14-6 halftime lead. But West Central's undefeated for a reason. Here's Chet Carta. He finds a big hole right up the middle. No one's even close to him. They go up 30-20 in the 4th quarter. Canton's not done, though. Here's a bomb. Braxton Mulder, Matt Anderson. He says,
"Go, Matt.
I'm bigger than you."
That's Sherry Kurtz's son.
Takes it all the way home. That makes it a 2-point game. The Seahawks, they actually get the stop they need, but they do get pinned. Last chance for them. Mulder is going to get sacked by Keaton Vessels. That's going to be the end of the game. Final score, 32-28.
Nice highlights tonight. Yeah. We had a lot of good highlights tonight. Del Rapids won big. West Central by 4. Sioux Falls Christian wins, and Lennox over Beersford.
To Salem we go for some 11B action. The Sioux Valley Cossacks, who rolled to a 42-6 win in Bridgewater, are visiting on McCook Central Montrose's homecoming, and Bowden Schiller, as he so often does, is visiting the end zone. This one from 38 yards out, and it's 6-0 visitors on top. And Donovan Rose comes up smelling like a rose on this 16-yard carry. They've got a lot of good backs right now in Sioux Valley. 14-0. Then the Cossacks with one more score here. Great fake. And it's a Schiller touchdown, his 2nd of the game from 19 yards. Sioux Valley takes it 34-14.
Onto the scoreboard. Winner gets the week off. Sioux Valley again wins by 20. EPJ wins by a bunch, as does Hot Springs.
And Bridgewater Emery off.
They get a bye as well. On to 9-man highlights in Class 9AA, where Parkston's Trojans, they were looking forward to playing on the turf at Garretson tonight. You know why? Because they're really good. And that's without their star Kramer. He's still hobbled with a bad ankle. Didn't slow him down at all. They're up 8-0 already when Luke Borman tacks on 6 more points, 33 yards to the touchdown. It's 14-0 Tees at that point. Then a pick 6 for Braden Jervik. He makes a leaping grab, and off he goes all the way for the touchdown. It's 22-0 at this point. That field looks great, doesn't it? And then Parkston again. Borman is going to return a punt. So they were scoring all different ways, just like Jefferson. They score on offense, they score on special teams, and they score on defense. Here's a special teamer. All the way for the touchdown, 52-0. Parkston is really good this year.
On to Hamlin, where Luke Fraser's Chargers look to remain perfect with a win over arch rival Castlewood. Jeff Sheehan looking good for his 100th career win. Maybe did a little fishing beforehand. This is also the battle for the brick. And boy, was Hamlin battling in this one, wearing their black uniforms. Not used to seeing them not doing the powder blues. That's Tyson Stevenson, 33 yards to
sharp. I like
Zach
those.
Van Meteren. Yeah, I like him, but you can't beat the powder blues.
No, but those look sharp,
It's
though.
different. It's a good look, but I love those powder blues. There's Stevenson getting in from a 1-yard score. Enough uniform talk. It's 14-0. And then it's Jackson Wadsworth going around left tackle for a 4-yard score. Last couple of years, this game has been close. Not tonight. All Hamlin. They win 59-6, and they will keep the brick.
I like those uniforms. And that was win number 100 tonight for Jeff Sheehan, by the way. He went fishing for his 100th win, and he got it. Parkston wins big, Hamlin wins big, Howard wins big, Wall wins big, and Elton Lake Benton wins big. Everybody won big in Class 9AA. 2 unbeatens in 9-man met in Aberdeen tonight. Those highlights are next. That's where our 2 cheerleaders were. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
One of the most intriguing games of the night was played at that beautiful new Dakota Bank Stadium in Aberdeen.
It is gorgeous. A treat for these 2 teams to play. They actually did last year as well.
Now let's meet our cheerleaders.
A lot to be gained by both teams. Number 2 in 9A Warner against number 1 in 9B Faulkton. And this is Hunter Kramer, another special team player, a special team play by a special player.
He's also the
Kramer goes
quarterback.
80 yards for the touchdown. He's also a running back. Last year he was all-state running back.
He basically
all
drives everything. He does everything but drive the team bus.
7-0. He might do that. 7-0. And then he goes to the air to Josiah Baum. That's a bomb for a touchdown. 25 yards. It's 14-0 in favor of Warner. But second quarter, it's going to be a tip, and it's picked off. DeMaria with the interception takes it deep into Warner territory, setting up this. Lane Cotton on a quarterback keeper, hurdles the defender, runs into the end zone, makes it 14-8, and then a lightning delay before halftime, so I'm not sure if this is over. Let's go to the bottom of the score.
It is over. 27-20.
Warner wins it 27-20. Big win for the Monarchs. To Canistota, where the Hawks have been flying high this season, undefeated, the top team in Class 9A, hosting the Hanson Beavers. Hanson down 14-0 when Hayden Schrader catches this pass from Jay Slaba, and it's 22-14. All of a sudden, Hanson with 22 straight points. When Tage Ortman hits Brady Scott, and it's 22-20 Hanson at halftime. 4th and 10 in the fourth quarter, a 30-26 game. That pass is complete. Schrader with a nice catch, out-leaping the defenders and setting up what turned out to be the icing on the cake as Brock Tuttle rumbles into the end zone for the touchdown, his third of the game. And how about this one? We thought it'd be good. It was a great game. Hanson victory, 38-28. All right, let's go to your scores in 9A. Again, Hanson knocking off number 1 Canistota. Warner wins by 7 in a thriller. Harding County 74-20. Phillip beats New Underwood 56-16, and Alcester Hudson looking really good this year at 52-22. No, we don't have another score.
Our feature game tonight was in Avon, where the Pirates hope to make Corsica-Stickney walk the plank in a battle of 9B ranked teams. They got a pirate ship. That's just so cool. Jaguars opening drive. These are two teams that want to run, so naturally they pass for a touchdown. Carter Wright, 6 yards to Tyson Wintland, 8-0. Now here might be the play of the day. Next Avon drive, it's 3rd and 15. Paxton Bierma backpedaling, throws it. Everybody behind me swore this was going to get intercepted. Well, after this was caught by Isaiah Meyer, they were swearing, but different kind of swears. He springs and goes 42 yards for the touchdown. They would tie the game up at 8 apiece. Final minute of the half. Corsica-Stickney looking for the go-ahead score. Wright takes off, and it's the right call. He gets down inside the 5-yard line. They would get down to the 2 a couple plays later. This play turns the game around. Pitch to Waylon Bowl. He gets popped at the goal line, fumbles. That was one of the consecutive turnovers in the end zone. Meyer ran for 173 yards, and Avon ran away in the second half after that huge momentum swing. 30-14 was the final. Let's take a look at some more scores now. In 9B, again, there's your Warner score over number 1 Faulkton. DeSmet was off. Avon with that good win over Corsica-Stickney. And Hitchcock-Tulare bouncing back after losing to Avon.
Had Tom Culver on the show today on Calling All Sports, former Avon coach. He had to be happy with that. We also had the coach of Adrian-Ellsworth on Calling All Sports today. And he was expecting this to be a dandy on his home field. We'll have those highlights from Adrian next.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
And welcome back to our final segment, starting with Minnesota high school football. We head to Adrian, home of one of my favorite 9-hole golf courses. And at 8th tee box, you can overlook the football field. I love that whenever I'm playing there. Yeah, probably why I didn't go. I wouldn't have been shooting the game. All right, early on, it's a pick by Tage Meyer for Murray County Central, and that's going to set up on the next play. Ross Engelkist takes the handoff and takes it all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. This was a dandy of a game, by the way. That's when Adrian-Ellsworth quarterback Aiden Tweet takes over on the keeper. Tweet takes it home for the score. And later, same thing, except it's from midfield. Tweet with a sweet run all the way for the touchdown, and they get the homecoming win. How about that? Your final 19-15. Let's check out all the Minnesota scores and see. There's your Dragon win again. Dawson Boyd, McCray win, along with Jackson County Central with a forfeit victory. Marshall rolling tonight. RTR lost to Martin County West. We've also got Minneota winning. Laverne winning over Minnesota Valley Lutheran. Hills Beaver Creek. New Ulm beat Worthington, and Redwood beat Pipestone.
On to Orange City, where Unity Christian took on the O-Rabs of Sheldon. Pick it up in the second quarter. Knights going with a modified quarterback sleep. Look at Cole Renz. Big stiff arm, and then he fumbles the ball. Fortunately, his teammate Braden Bosma,
Nice.
the Boz falls on it. It's 22-0. Not exactly how they drew it up, but it worked. Then on the other end, Landon Seidstra drops back and fires. Leaping grab by Isaac Wenthy. He's not done yet. He'll go 73 yards for the touchdown, 22-6. Ensuing kickoff, though, will be Ethan Van Ginkel. We'll give you a quick little look because we got to move along here. He will take this one back all the way for the house call as Unity Christian goes on to win by a final count of 50-14. Let's roll through those Iowa scores. MOC Floyd Valley in a good one. Central Lyon big as usual. Unity Christian in. West Lyon and Akron Westfield win.
And we got a couple of more scores for you. Sioux Center, Boyden Hall lost, Sibley Ocheden lost, and you can read the rest. Have a great weekend, everybody.